Hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. We've got one more Joker video for you all today, and this one is going to be ranking every theatrical Joker from worst to best. So yes, only the actors who have played Joker in theatrically released movies, and yes, that does mean we are including animation. Before we get started, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and alright, let's just get into the rankings here. Unsurprisingly, coming in at last place, 7th place, is going to be Jared Leto's Joker. Now, I really don't have anything positive to say about this version of the Joker. This one is ridiculous. It's absurd, from the design of the Joker with the tattoos, the very obvious tattoos like the damaged one on his forehead. This Joker is just a mess. It has no clear direction other than let's be as edgy and hot topic-y, weird and crazy as possible. And then adding on top of that all the weird stuff that Jared Leto was doing on set with Margot Robbie and the other actors. The one thing I like about this Joker is that he does have kind of a gang. It's a little bit more comic book accurate, where he has this ensemble, people who follow him. That's about it. Other than that, there's not really anything about this performance that I enjoyed. There's not anything about the way this character was written that I enjoyed. This is just the worst version of Joker ever, and he is coming in dead last. Now, everything from here at 6th place to 1st place is actually really good to great. There have been very few bad versions of Joker. Really, Jared Leto is the only one as of now. So it was tough to rank the top 6 because all of them are good in their own ways. But for me, number 6 is going to be Zach Galifinakis' Joker from the Lego Batman movie. The Lego Batman movie is a really fun and underrated Batman movie. It is in the vein of the 60s movie, a comedy. It's got a lot of jokes and gags. It's got a lot of references and connections to most of Batman comics and movies. And in that same way, Zach Galifinakis' Joker is an embodiment of all the Jokers that came before him. There's a mix of Mark Hamill in here. There's a mix of Heath Ledger. There's a lot of Cesar Romero. But at the same time, this Joker is made for a Lego movie. He's a little less menacing to me. He's a little bit more funny and goofy and in that Lego spirit of humor, which I do really enjoy, and I like this movie a lot. But as I'm ranking him up against some of these, more terrifying versions of the Joker, he just doesn't rank as highly as the top 5 for me. Number 4 and number 5 to me were very difficult to rank because I have pros and cons for both of them. But coming in at number 5, I'm going to end up putting Cesar Romero's Joker. Now, Cesar Romero's Joker is amazing. I do really love Cesar Romero's portrayal of this character, especially in the movie. He's got some great lines. But I think the one thing that drops him a bit for me is that we are just ranking theatrical only. We're not including the TV show. And because of that, he is part of an ensemble. He's not the lead character like the next 4 are. They're the main villains for the most part of their films. And in this film itself, I do think Burgess Meredith kind of steals the spotlight to me as Penguin. He is amazing and perfect as a 50s, 60s version of Penguin from the comic books. And although Cesar Romero is the perfect 50s, 60s Joker, he just doesn't quite shine as much when I think about the movie as much as some of the other villains. But I love going back to this version of the Joker because there are so many great gags. There's so many things that call back to the golden and silver ages of comic books. And you see a lot of those early inspirations in Cesar Romero. And as somebody who really does love the camp of Batman 66, this is an awesome portrayal, and I really wanted to put him at number 4 because he's not the main villain. He's part of a villain ensemble. I couldn't quite put him in the top 4. So then coming in at number 4 is, yes, going to be Joaquin Phoenix. Now, Joaquin Phoenix's version of the Joker, I have some problems with. And you might be saying, wow, you loved Zach Galifianakis and Cesar Romero, but you say you have problems with Joaquin Phoenix. Why is he higher? And I think it truly is just for the fact that this is an all-encompassing performance. This version of the Joker carries 2 movies. There are not any other Jokers that are the leads of their films. They're the lead villains, but they're not the leads of their films. He has to carry both the emotional weight of the film, but also the sinister, menacing aspects that make the Joker. Now, if you've seen my review and spoiler review for Joker Folie, you know I didn't really like Folie very much. And a lot of that is the fact that they shy away from some of the Joker elements. And so for me, where it might have been a little closer after the first film with the next spot on the list, after the second movie, he's solidified as the fourth best Joker to me. And there are some things that I think are great about this version of the Joker. Like we see in Killing Joke, the origin of the Joker here as a kind of a sad, pathetic person who's trying to find his role in life and gets caught up in some madness that ultimately helps turn him into the version of the Joker. I think that is portrayed excellently by Joaquin Phoenix. The descent into madness and the acting ability here, I mean, fully deserving of Best Actor. You see the turn and the fall and the despair in this guy's face. And I think Joaquin Phoenix does some incredible things with his facial expressions, the way he changes tone constantly. There are some really great parts of his performance. But then I pushed back a little bit on that because as the Joker, you're supposed to be unhinged with a smile. You don't really care. You don't have a reason for doing things. And I think Arthur Fleck at times is a little bit too much of a character, and that works fine for his origin movie. In Folie, Deux, I thought it was a little bit too much because at that point we should be seeing the Joker, and we're not seeing the Joker. It's more Arthur Fleck, more of what makes the Joker the Joker. For me, I don't need an over explanation of the Joker. The Joker to me is chaos personified, and I don't really think that Joaquin Phoenix ever really embodies that. I'm mixed on where Joaquin Phoenix's Joker should go. He's an extremely memorable performance. I think great in the first movie, and ultimately what he becomes by the end of it, I think is really, really excellent. In the second movie, we don't really get to see him shine fully outside of one scene in a courthouse that I thought was very Joker and Harley. So brilliant performance, but also at times not truly Joker. Which means coming in at 3 is going to be Jack Nicholson's Joker. Now, there's a lot to love about Jack Nicholson's Joker, and especially as I'm comparing comic accuracy to this list. Jack Nicholson's, out of all the live action ones, I think is probably the most comic accurate look, and it's the most comic accurate kind of randomness and goofiness and silliness. Where Cesar Romero is full of gags and a lot of like fun, PG rated crime and violence, Jack Nicholson is burning people alive with a hand buzzer. He's pulling out that giant gun out of his pants and shooting the bat plane. There are a lot of awesome gag moments that are also still pretty scary in this movie, and I think Jack Nicholson does a great job embodying both the ridiculous and hilarious at times. There are some really good one-liners from this character, but also the horrifying nature of this guy, especially with the smile that's stuck, this plastic surgery smile that's just frozen on his face. Still not a fan of the fact that he killed Bruce Wayne's parents. I think that is pretty absurd. I don't like when they shrink the universe down. The conflict between Batman and Joker has always been a psychological one, a pathological one. I don't think you get all of that from this version of the Joker. Overall, this is one of my favorite performances as the Joker. Still not perfect, but I do really love what Jack Nicholson brought to the table here. And stylistically, with Tim Burton's direction and the art design around this movie, I think it makes for a pretty memorable experience watching Jack Nicholson play the Joker. So 2 in 1 are near impossible to me. And it is going to be really sad either way which one I pick for number 2, because I think both of them are deserving of 1, and you could kind of take this with a grain of salt, make a little asterisk here that I would probably put these 1A, 1B, and I'll tell you, I put my favorite Joker as number 2, and it's for the same reasoning behind where I ranked Cesar Romero, and that is Mark Hamill's Joker is coming in at 2. So Mark Hamill's Joker has been theatrical twice, once in The Killing Joke, which was a very, very limited theatrical release, and I wouldn't really count. And the other time, the wide release was in Batman Mask of the Phantasm. The Phantasm is the villain that's on the cover. It's ultimately the villain that's haunting the whole movie. Joker is the lead villain of this movie. Joker is what makes this movie go. He's the one that drives the plot and the actions behind the Phantasm, and Mark Hamill here is just brilliant. Like I said, Mark Hamill's version of the Joker is by far my favorite version of the Joker. It's the most comic accurate. It's chaos, it's craziness, it's the hilarious one-liners, it's the way he's so menacing but just so aggressive. He can turn on a dime and you don't know which version of this guy you're getting. Is it the one that's laughing, or is it the one that's going to just rip you apart all of a sudden out of nowhere? But why is he not number one? Part of it is the fact that it's just this one movie. And yes, you know, my number one will just be one movie. But this movie, while amazing for Mark Hamill's Joker, isn't his most iconic moment as Joker. He has so many more iconic moments in the animated series, as well as the Arkham games. This is just a piece, a little notch on the resume of Mark Hamill's Joker. And if we weren't just talking about theatrical, he'd be my number one. And there's also just the fact that when you are embodying a performance as an actor in a movie versus a voice actor, you're helped a little bit as the voice actor by the animation, which I think the animation, the presentation of the Joker in Batman the Animated Series and Mask of the Phantasm is something that really improves and enhances the character. It's brought to life by Mark Hamill's performance, but it also contributes greatly to the way this character is portrayed. Whereas my number one had to physically embody the character as well, physically embody a lot of the aspects that I think Mark Hamill brings brilliantly to the voice here. So as much as I want to put Mark Hamill number one, we're talking about theatrical, I didn't quite think I could put him number one. This is an excellent version of the Joker, and if you still have not somehow seen Mask of the Phantasm, what are you doing? Just click off the video, go watch that right now. His performance is amazing. And that means coming to number one, yes, the most unceremonious number one of all time, but it is Heath Ledger's Joker. Like I was saying, I gave the edge a little bit to Heath Ledger when we're talking about theatrical Jokers because Heath Ledger had to embody the chaos. And I think Heath Ledger does a perfect job of delivering the sinister one-liners while also giving you the absolute madness. This character is amazing, not just as an iconic movie villain, but so many of the facial expressions he makes. The facial acting here is absolutely absurdly good, and he will just flip on you on a dime. You can see a lot of that in the video footage that he takes himself when he ties up the fake Batman and then he kills him and he screams at him. This is a little bit of an homage to the early Batman comics when Joker was a serial killer, when he started out as a serial killer, but then it's also an homage to what he became, because when Batman starts to get on his trail, when the serial killing becomes not that fun anymore, he flips and he just becomes the embodiment of chaos, and he's trying to turn people on each other. He's trying to create the ultimate mad city. And this movie, more than any other one in the Batman franchise, gets the dualism of Batman and Joker being the opposite sides of the same coin, which also works quite well when you have Harvey Dent and Two-Face in this movie. So many great philosophical discussions, so many great discussions about psychology and the way that these two characters operate, the way they need each other to exist, for both of them to have a purpose in life. They need each other, and I think that is brilliant and cuts right to the heart of what these characters have been in the comic books forever. And there's just all the scenes. I mean, how many iconic scenes are around Heath Ledger's Joker, between the opening scene at the bank robbery, the scene where he crashes the mob boss meeting, the scene where he says, "Why so serious?" for the first time, the scene where he is being chased down by Batman when he's trying to get Harvey Dent, the scene where he's interrogated by Batman, which I still think is the best scene in any comic book movie ever. And then of course the ending, everything around the ending when his last fight with Batman. It's just also brilliant. This character and this performance is the best of all time. I don't think it'll ever be topped. I mean, I would love to see a performance that's somehow a marriage of Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson, which would basically be the Mark Hamill version of Joker just brought to screen. That's the one I'm hoping they go for in the future in this DC universe that James Gunn's rebooting right now with the Superman movies, and eventually whenever we get Batman. But I love this version of Joker. I think he's brilliant, and that is my number one. So thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you'd like to see some more rankings down below, and if you'd like to see more comic book related stuff return to the channel. That's one of the things I started this channel on, and then it kind of morphed into a Star Wars channel. But I would really love to talk more about this type of stuff, so let me know what you guys think down below. Make sure you like the video, comment your rankings of these 7 Jokers below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all next time.